Alright, let's look at Google Classroom step by step. To open up Google Classroom, the first thing we're going to do is to open a page in Google Chrome, click on our Google waffle, and choose Classroom. To begin a new class, we're going to click the plus sign and say Create Class. We're going to give the class a name and click Create. Alright, so now we have our class. We can change the background picture, the banner picture. This one's a spider, I don't know that I want it. So we can change it one of two ways. We can select a theme from the preloaded themes, or we can choose upload photo, and you can upload a photo of your own choosing, like a picture of your class or your classroom or the front of your school or your dog. So I'm going to choose from one of the themes that they have. And we'll notice that up at the top we have 3 different sections that we can work in. We can work in the stream, we can work in the classwork, or we can work in the people section. We also have the settings section that we'll do some work in there as well. Let's look at the stream first. The stream is basically everything that happens in your Google Classroom will get a notification here. So if you want to share something with the class, like, hi, welcome to class, you can post it right there. You could also add a file, something from your Google Drive, a YouTube video, or a link. And that goes right into our stream. Anytime I add new classwork to the classwork page, it will show up in the stream so that the students know that something has happened. Now let's look at the Classwork tab. On the Classwork tab is where most of the work is going to be taking place. We can create assignments, questions, materials, and all of those things are going to be housed under topics. Your topics are what is going to organize all of the things that you put in classwork for your students to work on. So let's work with an assignment. Let's say that we want them to complete a worksheet. So we're just going to name the assignment worksheet. And on the instructions, we're going to say complete the worksheet. I want it to be worth 100 points. I'm not going to give it a due date, although I could, and it would pull up a calendar. And on topic, I'm going to create a topic, and let's say that this is in chapter 1. So everything that I have for chapter 1, I would apply the topic chapter 1 for it, and it would keep everything nice and neat together. Now I could go into my Google Drive and I could attach the worksheet from Google Drive. I could send them to a link that has a worksheet on it, or I could attach a file directly from my desktop. I can also assign it right away, or I can schedule it to assign it later, or if I don't want to assign it at all right now, I just want to work on it, I can click Save Draft. So let's just assign it now. So my children see that under the topic chapter 1, I have this worksheet for them to do. Alright, let's create a question. Perhaps we just want to pose a question for the kids to answer to give us some quick feedback or a quick assessment. So, what is a verb? Alright, that's the question. 100 points, short answer. I could also change it to multiple choice if I wanted to. I can allow the students to reply to each other, or students can edit the answers after they post it. In case they say, oh, I spelled it wrong, then they can go back and fix that. And again, I have all the options to add those doodads to my assignment. I can ask it now, I can schedule it, or I can save the draft. We can also post materials, and this is where you would put like your syllabus or materials that the kids are going to use over and over again. So let's say I've got a chart for them to look at. I'm going to put it with Chapter 1 because it's a Chapter 1 chart. And again, I can post it right away, schedule it, or save the draft. And you can see that it's housed now under Chapter 1. Now, anytime that I want to see what my students have done, I can click on the assignment, and because I have no students, it says that 0 have turned them in and 0 have been assigned. If you had 30 students in your classroom, 30 would be assigned, and as they turn them in, this number would grow. So I can click on View Assignment, and it brings me to this page. Now, if I had students, they would all be listed over here in sections of assigned or turned in. And then they would be listed here as well. And I could choose student by student and give them a grade. And I can also go back to the instructions. Alright, now let's look at the people section. So here is the listing of all the people in your class. You as the teacher, you can add co-teachers if you want to work together on a classroom. And then you can add your students. You can add them one by one and send them email invites, but that's only going to be effective for 7th through 12th grade. The most effective way for us to add students is to have them log into their Google Classroom, log into their Google, then choose Google Classroom, and then you're going to tell them to put in this code. Now you can tell them what the code is, you can write it up on the board, or if you go to the settings cog and there's your class code, we have an option to display it. So if you have your computer hooked to your projector, you can display it nice and large for them to all jump in. And they only have to do that one time. While we're in the settings cog, we can also change the name of our class if we needed to edit it. We can reset our class code if we want to. We can look at our stream. Now here the default is that on the stream students can post and comment, and we found that many times with that left open, students will choose to comment back and forth with one another on the stream page, and that can be really disruptive. So it's a good rule of thumb to go ahead and change it to only teachers can post or comment. And there may be situations where you would like to give them the option to comment, and you can turn that on and then turn it back off when you're done. And you can also turn on Guardian Summaries. And when we do that, it allows us to have guardians be attached to the Google Classroom. Now, they won't be the same as students where they can post and add work and things like that, but they will get summaries based on the amount of time that they wish to get those. They'll be sent an email and they'll choose if they want to get them weekly or daily or how often they want to see summaries of what their children are doing in classroom. Alright. And pretty much that's Google Classroom. It's very simple to use. You can use Google Classroom to send just about anything that you would use digitally to your students. And that's the beauty of Google Classroom, is that it's a quick way to push work out to the students and for them to complete it and send it back to you.